the last presentation, but not least, I would like to invite Đorđe. He's also a student from, he's also a student from at Family Faculty, and you are in Czech Republic at the moment, right? You are studying there. So if you can share your experience.
Gladly. Let me just share the screen. So here it is. Is it working? Can you see the presentation?
It is working.
Okay, great. So today I'll tell you a little bit about my Erasmus Plus student exchange at the Charles University in Prague in Czech Republic. These are some of the photos that I took during the exchange, just sort of to show you the lots of fun I've been having with people around here. So some basic information you already heard. My name is Đorđe Mitrović. I'm 23. I'm a master's student of mathematics at the UP Famnitz. And during my exchange, I am a student at the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics at Charles University in Prague. Here, I'm a student at the Master Program of Mathematical Structures, and I did my exchange in the winter semester. However, at the moment, I'm trying to prolong it. I already initiated the procedure to stay another semester, so the summer semester of the next year. Why did I choose Prague? Well, I decided to answer this question with pictures because I think this already says enough. Prague is a beautiful city. It's definitely one of the most famous ones in the whole of Europe. It's one of the oldest. It's just so rich with content and life. And I have been wanting to visit it for a very long time. So when I saw that it is possible to visit it through an Erasmus exchange, and it was just a very easy decision to make. Similarly with Charles University, I've already heard about it. I knew that it's one of the oldest universities in Europe, and it has a very high ranking when it comes to the lists of universities. It's also very big, very international and prestigious, so that attracted me a lot. Also, which is very important, is that their master program in mathematics is held in English, so majority of the courses are given in English. So that allowed me to sort of access the big variety of courses they have. In particular, my personal interests lie in geometry, topology, and algebra, and they really have a wide selection of courses in these areas. So I was very excited to attend all of their courses pretty much, but I had to make a small selection, of course. I have been very happy with the lectures here and the experience at the university. So all of the courses I've attended have been quite high level, and they have a very advanced approach to the topics of interest, which is really good because I decided to do the exchange for the quality of Charles University. So usually when you attend courses here, you will have to complete either some homework, some midterms to be allowed to attend the exams. And for master students, most of them will be oral. And despite COVID, most of the lectures have been given in person, at least for my faculty. I'm very happy to say that lecturers are very kind. It's very easy to talk to them, and they are all indeed fluent in English. So there was no issues, no language barriers at the faculty. It's similarly for the city. I'll tell you more about that towards the end of the presentation, but it's also very easy to communicate with people in English in Prague. So this is just a photo from one of my lectures, Riemannian geometry. It's a lot of fun to attend these lectures, and I really like these big boards that keep moving, and they use chalk. I must say that's maybe a bit weird, but I've missed using chalk in lectures. We usually use markers at Famnitz, but chalk is also very nice. So yeah, these sort of things happen at 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, now the procedure of application. So learning agreement. I would say the process in itself is not terribly complicated, but it will take you a lot of time. So the situation is that you need to choose the subjects that you like. You have to check with people at our university, so your program coordinator and your Erasmus Plus coordinator, that this selection of courses you made is all right. It will depend on the ECTS credits, on your obligations that you have at our university. So you really need to make sure that you make the right choice. So when you come back, the recognition process is easy and painless. Then you will register at the Charles University online system. It will generate a learning agreement for you, and then they will send all of your documents for you by post. And this is the part where I want to make sure you all know that it will take a long time for the documents to arrive by regular post, and that can be a little bit of a problem. For example, this is how the learning agreement looks like. This is mine. So it's a very simple document, but waiting for these signatures on the bottom of the second page can take a little bit. And that's why you should start with the procedure as soon as possible. It's not very daunting, it's not very difficult, but do it as soon as you can. Especially because of the visa. So I added this slide for my colleagues from non-European Union countries. So because I have the Bosnia and Herzegovina citizenship, I needed a visa, similarly like in Slovenia. Sadly, the procedure for the Czech Republic visa is a bit more complicated. You should start with preparing the documents as soon as possible because, as I said, you will be waiting for some of them to arrive for a long time, and then you will probably need to wait for 2 months for your visa to be approved. So as you see, it will take quite some time for you to be ready to leave to Czech Republic. It's also a bit more expensive than the Slovenian visa. You will need to pay 100 euros just for submitting the application. And because of COVID, and this is the next topic, additional expenses will arise. At the moment, Czech Republic requires you to buy health insurance that explicitly covers COVID-related expenses. For example, Bosnia and Herzegovina already has an agreement with Czech Republic, and in general, this is not necessary, but because of the new situation, you will need to get additional health insurance, and this can be very expensive. So regarding COVID, the main thing is there was a change in visa requirements. So for example, health insurance, as I mentioned, now you also need a vaccination certificate. To even cross the border, you will need a recognized vaccination certificate. And here I want to point out that both the vaccine and the country need to be recognized by Czech Republic. So, for example, if I got vaccinated in Bosnia, it wouldn't matter that I have the Pfizer vaccine. So you need to get vaccinated in a country which Czech Republic recognizes for their certificate. Slovenia, of course, as a European Union member, is recognized. And everything about this you can find on their web pages of their Ministry of Interior and etc. So towards the end of November, we got some additional restrictions for COVID. Of course, these FFP2 masks have been present from day one, so that's nothing new. But sadly now pubs, bars, restaurants, clubs, and other objects need to be closed by 10 p.m. And you can no longer use antigen tests or PCR tests to go into these places. You really need a vaccination certificate. Okay, on to the more fun and brighter topics. So buddy system. It's very similar to the student tutor system that we have at the University of Primorska. There's a special registration that you need to make, but it's very easy, and all of the information you will receive from the Charles University via email sometime before the start of the exchange. So if you want to start your exchange in October, it might arrive during September. So what you do is you create an account and provide some of your information. So usually that's just name, surname, age, country, and most importantly, a small paragraph about yourself and what you're looking for in a buddy and similar things. And then buddies have an access to this database, and they sort of scroll through and find people who resonate with them, whose profiles they like, and then they can contact them. So usually your buddy will not have a big workload, I think. They will usually have at most 3 students, and that's very nice because then they can focus on you a lot. And in general, as with our tutors, the idea is that they will provide you with advice on the city, where to go, where to eat, where to party, in general student life, about university, about dormitories, and etc. So they're a big help to you. In my case, my buddy even helped with the administrative issues because we had some language barrier issues. So a lot of people, weirdly, this is very weird, but a lot of people in the administration office of the dormitory do not speak English quite fluently. So she helped me a lot with this. And I absolutely recommend that you get involved with the buddy system and try to get someone to help you because it will make everything so much easier. This is my buddy, Hanka. We've become really great friends over this period of time. We hang out a lot, and she even introduced me to more of her friends from Czech Republic. And that has been a great experience. So I think if you're open to it and you're like to communicate and hang out with people, getting a buddy is an absolute must. Okay, so now accommodation. Well, this can be quite an issue in Prague, especially because it's a capital and a big city. So, as expected, accommodation is expensive, and in fact, in Prague, it can be extremely expensive. One weird thing that is that it doesn't really depend on the location. So, even if you're far away from the city center, because Prague is quite fragmented and spread out, it doesn't affect the price. It can still be very expensive, even though you are maybe 40 minutes away from the city center. Rents, I would say, vary from 300 to 400. That's what I heard from my colleagues, and usually without expenses. But luckily, dorms are available, and in all dorms, they have a special selection of rooms that they always keep for international students. And it's very easy to apply for them. Just when you are registering in the Charles University system and creating your learning agreement, it's possible to check just one box saying, I'm interested in dormitory accommodation. And you can even ask your Erasmus coordinator at Charles University to help you choose the dormitory. In particular, I have been advised to pick the Troja dormitory, or official name is 17 Listopadu dorm. Most people here study at my faculty. There are two buildings, building A, building B, and your rent will be about 170 euros. It depends on the month, on the length of the month, and some additional factors that you can find on the webpage, but 170 is a safe sort of approximation. The idea is that there are two rooms and there are two students in each room, and the two rooms are connected via hallway, and there you have a bathroom, toilet, and a kitchen. So technically you're staying with four people, but you only see one of them. I mean, you stay with three other people, and but you're really interacting with only one of them. Of course, you hang out with your other roommates, but very often they have a different schedule, so you miss each other. One thing is that by a priori, you don't have anything in the room, but of course, because the dormitory has been working for so long, you will often find things left by other students who stayed there before you, but there's no way of knowing what you'll find. So if you have any pans or pots waiting for you, but it's easy to get them in the city and they're not too expensive, so it's nothing to worry about. There are strict COVID rules when it comes to dormitories. So one of them is that it's no at the moment it's not necessary to be vaccinated, but it will complicate your life a lot if you're not. Then you have to do weekly testings at the ground floor of one of the buildings. And it also limits the number of people who can come and visit you during the semester and some other things. So definitely COVID influenced this part as well. Um, What's the good thing about Troja? Well, there's a small store at the ground floor of building B, so you don't really have to go far to get groceries. We also have specially organized washing machines, vacuum cleaners, drying rooms, and even a gym. So here are the prices in Czech crowns. So 12 Czech crowns is about half a euro. So you would pay like half a euro for 30 minutes of using the washing machine, half a euro for drying rooms. I don't even know if this counts, like what's this? So 20 cents for vacuum cleaners, and gym is 4 euros for 4 months. So that's a really, really good offer. One thing is that gym has been affected by the COVID rules. So there's a maximum of 2 people that can attend it at the same time. So it's not as great as it sounds, but it's definitely super cheap and much better than really paying a lot of money for the gyms in the city, which are very expensive. So there's a Mensa in the basement, and you can use the Isaac card, and I'll tell you about the Isaac card in a minute, but it's a special student card. And every day there's a selection of beef, pork, chicken, and vegetarian menus for 67 Czech crowns. So that's less than 3 euros. And then a special menu for 87 Czech crowns. There's really no rule what's going to be on the special menu. It's a bit more expensive usually, and that's a little bit over 3 euros. So overall, it's a very cheap place to eat, and the food is good. You can also buy sodas, coffees, cakes, sandwiches, and other things, all with the Isaac card. Here's a picture of sort of in general, how the rooms look in Troja. And on the right, you can see the view from my room in Troja. So this is on the first day when I arrived. It's quite nice. I really enjoy staying in Troja. And during my second semester, if I'll be prolonging the exchange, I have already asked them to also prolong my accommodation contract because I really like it here. And I think the price is super, super cheap compared to everything else you can find in the city. Okay, so other expenses. So the main source, the thing that I'll say, there's nothing similar to Slovenian student boni for food. Sadly, nothing beats that. But there is a sort of source of discounts. It's the Isaac card, which I'll show you on the next slide, and it gives you all kinds of discounts. So the main one is the public transport. You can get an official card for 15 euros for 4 months, and then you can use all types of public transport for unlimited amount of time and times during the day. So that's incredibly important because you can't get anywhere here without using at least one bus or a tram because it's just a very big place. You get some discounts for food, but they're not the healthiest. Most of them are fast food restaurants such as like McDonald's, Einstein Pizza, Burger King, and similar things, KFC. But sometimes it's also nice to have those. There are some limited discounts for travel with Flixbus, Ryanair, and for some electronic devices. So this is how the Isaac card looks like. And this is the app that you can find. So it will list all of the discounts that you can get with the Isaac card in your close proximity. Yeah, I think I forgot to, yeah, it's available upon registering in person with your faculty. So when you actually arrive to Prague, you can go, you have to go and register with your faculty, and then you can also ask for this card. You have to pay 10 euros additionally to get the right for the discounts, but otherwise it's very easy to get and very useful. As far as other expenses, so grocery shopping is usually done in Albert, Bila, and Lidl's. It's very similar to Slovenia. Going out, so beer is ridiculously cheap, which makes sense because Czech Republic is famous for the cheap beer, but good beer. It's very good beer. So you can, for like 2 euros, you can get a big beer, and sometimes for even less. It's actually quite impressive. However, on the other side, coffee is expensive for some reason. I'm not sure. So I'm just comparing this to Slovenia. I know that in Koper, we can get coffee for like €1.50, let's say, like a latte. However, here you have to pay around 3 euros in most places I've been, so which is a little bit expensive in my opinion. If you want to go out with friends for food like lunch or brunch or something similar, you should expect spending at least 15 euros, depending on the place you go. You can go for less, but it will depend on what you actually buy. And clubbing, there's many options for clubbing, and the prices will heavily depend on where you go. Because if you go to sort of a tourist trap, you will pay both the entrance and the clothing fee and the drinks, which is a lot. But there are some places that you can go to with your friends that students know about where you can spend a lot less. So just to wrap everything up, so what are the other things to do in Prague? First of all, the city is absolutely beautiful. So just going for walks is a lot of fun. And it has many beautiful cafes that you can just go to and have coffee and enjoy your time. I think it's very nice to just keep switching them. So you always go to a new place, and it's definitely possible because there's so many of them. Museums and galleries, there's a couple of them. They're all really cool, and you get student discounts with the Isaac card. National Theatre, you can also get cheap seats for most of the plays, ballets, and operas. I've been to a couple of them. It's been a lot of fun. There are always some kind of events in the city, concerts, or for example, I volunteered at the film festival as soon as I arrived to Prague. And again, clubbing is definitely not a problem. There's many options from clubs to pubs to bars. There's many things to do. There is an European Student Network organization here in Prague, and they make a lot of events for Erasmus students, and they have their Instagram page, their Facebook page. They send you emails with notifications. So that will include travel, sport events, jazz club nights, pub quizzes, city tours, and so on. And also travel is very easy here in Czech Republic because train tickets are extremely cheap. So it's easy to go abroad. A lot of people go to Krakow, Budapest, Brussels, or Vienna, but you can also visit places in Czech Republic such as Kutná Hora, Karlovy Vary, and other big cities such as Brno and Ostrava. So for example, I went last Friday, I went to Kutná Hora with friends, and for both tickets, forward and backwards, I paid together, I think 3 euros, which is, and Kutná Hora is about 2 hours away. So in conclusion, Prague is a beautiful, vibrant city. It has a lot to offer, and you will meet a lot of people here because it's popular. Charles University is an amazing place, honestly, to study. You have a lot of courses, so I'm sure you'll find something you like. As Theodora mentioned as well, the application procedure is not the easiest, but you should keep going, keep pushing. It will be worth it for sure. And finally, I think you should do the Erasmus exchange. And if you liked what I told you about Prague here, you should definitely do it in Prague. However, we have many other options for you, and I think you will probably find something that works for you. That's all. That's all from me. Thank you so much for the attention.